You know what this means? I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm clapping and I'm happy because the Premier League is so close to starting up again. So what are we going to do? We are going to give you a preview for all of the major teams I know, and then we're going to bring you another clip in which we talk about nearly every team in the Premier League because we love it so, and we'll talk about La Liga as well and whatever other league you guys want to talk about. But first, let's talk about the reigning champions. They're our first team that we're going to preview, so bear with us whilst we go through. Chelsea. They haven't been as active in the transfer market as you've seen teams like Manchester United, Manchester City with the big name signings. But let's take a quick look at who is in and out of Chelsea before we go on to other things. So in is Nathan, Atletico Paranaense. Undisclosed fee for him. Radamel Falcao, obviously one of the more known signings. He comes in on loan to try and prove himself with the Blues after a failed season at Manchester United. And Asmir Begovic comes in from Stoke City, another undisclosed fee. But look who moved out this season. So Philippe Luis is one of the most notable. He goes back to Atletico Madrid after he didn't quite settle in. I don't think it was to do with him settling in. I think it's really hard to overthrow Azpilicueta, who I rate very highly at the left-back position. And then a bunch of players in there on their way out as well. But we'll focus on Didier Drogba, who has moved on after, I would say, a pretty successful return. Scored a few goals in there. Obviously not used as much as we would expect from his name coming in, but he's getting on a bit. So I think he did his job for what he was there to do. And Petr Cech obviously going to Arsenal. So overall, why did Chelsea didn't really have to be as active as they were? I think they've made a couple of good acquisitions. I think Nathan can really find his way into that Chelsea style. He's a similar player from what you see to those who have been brought in before with your Willians. And I think Mourinho will use him very sparingly and try to have him adapt into the team like we've seen before. One of the other notable things is that Cuadrado has stayed around. I know there was talks of him moving out after a brief spell at Chelsea, but I think that Mourinho will take it upon himself to try and bring Cuadrado into the Chelsea family and have him fit into his style of play, which he will absolutely stick with this season, because why would he have to adjust it? He won the Premier League so comfortably last year that we can only assume that he's going to go with a similar formation and a similar starting 11 with the use of perhaps Falcao now and again to give Costa a rest, or potentially partner them together. We'll see what he does. But before that, let's just get into what I think Chelsea's starting lineup will be this season. So take a walk with me whilst we go through this. So Chelsea are going to line up, as we know, with a 4-2-3-1. They're not going to have a goalkeeper in because they're going to give everyone a chance this year. Yeah, right. But another thing, I don't have my laser pointer, so I'm going to have to use this TYT Supreme Court gavel. Jason's too cheap to buy me a laser pointer or even a big stick. He's flipping me off right now, but we'll continue. So people are going to say, well, that just looks exactly like Chelsea's team last year, dude. An American might have said that, but that's why. Why would Jose Mourinho change anything up? This is a starting 11. Of course, there might be some personalities changing in there. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Zuma making more appearances after he impressed last year. Even if Cahill is performing, I think Mourinho likes to try and mature his younger players. He's very good at doing that. So I would see Zuma maybe come in some games to replace Cahill. Fabregas and Matic, Oscar, Willian and Hazard. I think Hazard and Willian would switch, usually play Hazard on the left, Willian, and Diego Costa up top. Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe that Mourinho will take it as a personal task, a personal challenge to start playing Falcao. And I think you might see in games whether it be Oscar left out and have Willian and Hazard in there, and maybe two up top with Falcao dropping it a little bit deeper, the way he linked up with Diego Costa when he played with Atletico Madrid. You might see Nathan making some appearances in there because Mourinho, as I said, like to mature his players. There'll be things happening. Cuadrado definitely could make his way into the starting 11, but if I was to go with their starting 11 to start the season, why would he change from the consistency that he knows and works well with? The only thing that I'm talking about is I want to see Oscar have a very good start to the season like he did last year. But, of course, coming back from injury, he missed the Copa America tournament. You have to make sure that he's fully fit to play for the start of the season. But these are your starting guys that you know for a fact are going to be there. Matic, fantastic season, has to be at that level again because everyone else is going to be out to get Chelsea. They just won the league comfortably. Manchester United, Manchester City making big signings. We know that Chelsea are going to have everyone against them. But Jose Mourinho, I think, performs well when this is the case. So where do I think Chelsea are going to finish this season? So I do not like giving exact because I like to cover my traces as well. But I just do think that Chelsea are going to be number one. Here's my table that I will add to throughout our previews and start to fill in those gaps. I know you're going to be thinking, oh, just give us a full table right now. Nope. I want to tease you a little bit. I'm going to tease it so you guys can come back. Chelsea, I think, will retain their Premier League title this year, but it will be very close. Trust me, I would not be surprised if City, United, Arsenal, maybe Liverpool might make another challenge. I don't know. But based on their signings, no. But you never know. Swansea coming from the background, no chance. But let me know what you guys think. Where do you think Chelsea are going to finish this season? As of course, we're teasing the Premier League, which starts in a week or so. We cannot wait for that. And as always, we'll be bringing you all the latest from the English Premier League. And bear with us as our first documentation of the Premier League recaps will be coming live from Scotland, because I'm making a brief trip back. So if you're in and around Scotland or the UK and I happen to be there, come say what's up. Thanks again. Subscribe to TYT Sport.